The charity gala buzzed with forced smiles and polite chatter. My husband, Mark, was lost in conversation. His boss, Mr. Davis, stood beside me, a man I knew only as a name in our house. Our eyes met. He looked away, then back. "I need to tell you something," he whispered, his voice husky with emotion. "Something about Mark." My heart pounded. What secret could Mr. Davis, a man known for his stoicism, possibly have about my husband? His next words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken feelings. "I loved your husband for years." Mr. Davis had always been a distant figure. Powerful, successful, he was the kind of man who commanded respect without demanding it. Mark, my husband of 10 years, spoke highly of him, often returning from work with anecdotes about Mr. Davis's sharp mind and even sharper business acumen. But never did I imagine this man, this pillar of strength and composure, harbored such a deeply personal secret. His confession, unexpected and raw, painted him in an entirely new light. He wasn't just Mark's boss anymore. He was a man who had loved, and perhaps still loved, the man I called my husband. The gala's opulent ballroom became stifling. I needed air, space to process the bombshell Mr. Davis had dropped. We found ourselves under a weeping willow, its branches cascading around us like a curtain of green. He told me his story, a tale of unrequited love, of silent yearning, of watching Mark marry me with a bittersweet ache in his heart. He spoke of stolen glances, of unspoken desires, of the pain of keeping his love a secret for the sake of Mark's happiness. His vulnerability was disarming. For the first time I saw not Mark's boss, but a man laid bare, his heart exposed. His words ignited a firestorm of emotions within me. It was as if a dam had burst, releasing a torrent of feelings I had long kept at bay. I felt a rush of anger, a pang of sadness, and a wave of confusion all at once. Each emotion crashed over me, leaving me breathless and disoriented. I had always prided myself on my ability to remain composed, but in that moment, I felt utterly lost. Confusion, empathy, and a strange sense of betrayal warred within my heart. I couldn't understand why I felt this way. Was it because I had been blind to the truth for so long? Or was it because I had always known, deep down, that something was amiss? The empathy I felt for him was overwhelming, yet it was tinged with a bitterness I couldn't shake. It was as if my heart was being pulled in two different directions, each one demanding my full attention. Betrayal not by my husband, but by the universe itself. How could fate be so cruel, to weave such a tangled web of love and deceit? I had always believed in the power of love to conquer all, but now I was faced with the harsh reality that love could also bring immense pain. The universe, it seemed, had played a cruel joke on me, and I was left to pick up the pieces of my shattered heart. How could such a love story exist alongside my own, hidden in plain sight? It was as if I had been living in a parallel world, oblivious to the truth that had been right in front of me all along. The love I had cherished and nurtured now felt like a fragile illusion, easily shattered by the harsh light of reality. I couldn't help but wonder how many other secrets lay hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. The foundation of my marriage, my understanding of love and commitment, felt shaken. Everything I had believed in, everything I had built my life around, now seemed uncertain. The vows we had exchanged, the promises we had made, all felt like empty words in the face of this new reality. I couldn't help but question the very nature of love itself. Was it truly as enduring and unbreakable as I had always believed? Or was it as fragile and fleeting as a passing breeze? Yet, as I looked at Mr. Davis, his face etched with years of unspoken longing, I couldn't help but feel a surge of sympathy. His love for Mark had been a silent, steadfast presence, unwavering even in the face of adversity. It was a love that had endured the test of time, a love that had remained true despite the many obstacles it had faced. In that moment, I realized that love could take many forms, each one as valid and powerful as the next. He had loved Mark deeply, silently, sacrificing his own happiness for the man he loved. It was a love that had been both beautiful and tragic, a love that had brought him both joy and sorrow. As I looked into his eyes, I saw a reflection of my own pain and confusion. We were both victims of love's capricious nature, both struggling to make sense of the emotions that had been stirred within us. Was that not a testament to the power of love itself? Despite the heartache and the pain, love had the power to endure, to persist, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It was a force that could bring people together, even as it tore them apart. In the end, it was love that defined us, that gave our lives meaning and purpose. And as I stood there grappling with my own conflicted heart, I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. Perhaps in time I would find a way to reconcile the love I had lost with the love that still remained. Section 5. Echoes of the Past, Whispers of the Future. His confession unearthed memories of my own, the electric thrill of first love, the all-consuming passion, the way my heart used to skip a beat at the mere mention of Mark's name. I remember the late-night conversations that stretched into the early hours of the morning, the stolen glances across crowded rooms, and the secret notes passed under the table. Those were the days when love felt like an adventure, a journey into the unknown. Every moment was charged with excitement and anticipation. The world seemed brighter, colors more vivid, and every song on the radio felt like it was written just for us. Somewhere along the path of marriage, those intense feelings had settled into a comfortable rhythm. We were partners, friends, confidants, but the spark had dimmed. The daily routines, the responsibilities, and the passage of time had transformed our passionate love into a steady companionship. We found joy in the little things, cooking together, sharing a cup of coffee in the morning, and talking about our day. Our love had matured, deepened, and evolved into something more enduring. But there were moments when I missed the intensity, the fire that once burned so brightly. Mr. Davis's words, as painful as they were, reminded me of a time when love was all-consuming, a force of nature that swept you off your feet. It made me question if such passion could be rekindled, if the embers of our love could be fanned back into a flame. Could we find a way to reignite the spark that had once set our hearts ablaze? I began to wonder if we had simply grown too comfortable, too accustomed to the routine. Perhaps we needed to rediscover each other, to see each other with fresh eyes and open hearts. It was a daunting thought, but also an exciting one. The possibility of rekindling our love, of reigniting the passion that had once defined us, filled me with a sense of hope and determination. Love, after all, is not just a feeling, but a choice to keep the flame alive, to nurture it and to let it grow. And in that moment, I chose to believe that our love could be rekindled, that the echoes of the past could become the whispers of a brighter future. Section 6. A husband's silence, a wife's awakening. The drive home was filled with a deafening silence. Mark, oblivious to the emotional earthquake that had just rocked my world, chattered about the gala. His words washed over me, meaningless against the backdrop of Mr. Davis's confession. That night, lying beside my husband, I felt an ocean apart. His familiar touch, once a source of comfort, now felt foreign. The revelation had awakened something within me, a longing for a love that consumed me, that made my heart race. Could I find that kind of love again? With Mark, or perhaps even with someone else? Section 7. Bridge over troubled waters, a conversation. Days turned into weeks, the weight of Mr. Davis's secret pressing down on me. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was living a lie, that the very foundation of my marriage was built on a half-truth. Finally, I gathered my courage. I told Mark everything. His reaction was not anger but sadness. He admitted he had known about Mr. Davis's feelings, had sensed them but never addressed them. He assured me he loved me, that our life together was all he ever wanted. But his words, though sincere, lacked the passion, the fire that I craved. Section 8. Second chances, blossoming love. The conversation with Mark, while difficult, opened a door. We started going on dates again, rediscovering each other. We rekindled the intimacy, the shared jokes, the small gestures of affection. But something had shifted. I was different. I had glimpsed a different kind of love, a love that burned bright even in silence. Mr. Davis and I maintained a respectful distance, but our chance encounter had awakened something in both of us. We found solace in shared glances, in unspoken understanding, and as time went by, a tentative friendship blossomed, built on a foundation of shared history and unspoken emotions. Section 9. Finding love in unexpected places. The future is uncertain, and the path ahead is unclear. We often find ourselves at crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. But in these moments of uncertainty, love has a way of guiding us, illuminating the path we never thought we'd travel. The path ahead is unclear, shrouded in mist and mystery. Yet, it is in these very moments of ambiguity that love often finds its way to us, like a beacon of light cutting through the fog. But I have learned that love is a complex tapestry woven from unexpected threads. Each thread represents a moment, a choice, a chance encounter that weaves together to form something beautiful and unique. It can blossom in the most unlikely of places, in the cracks of a busy city sidewalk or in the quiet corners of our hearts where we least expect it. Love defies logic and thrives in the most surprising environments, challenging our perceptions and leading us down paths we never thought we'd travel. It encourages us to step out of our comfort zones, to explore the unknown, and to embrace the journey with an open heart. Perhaps our journey won't be easy, and we may face storms and obstacles that test our resolve. But it is in these challenges that we find our strength and resilience. But it will be honest, it will be real. Love demands authenticity, and it flourishes in the soil of truth and vulnerability. It is in these raw, unfiltered moments that we truly connect with one another. And as I navigate this new chapter, I am reminded that love is not just a destination, but a journey. It is a continuous process of growth, discovery, and transformation. I hold on to the belief that sometimes life's greatest surprises come from confronting its most uncomfortable truths. It is in these moments of vulnerability that we find our true selves and connect deeply with others, and that even in the face of heartbreak, when tears fall and hearts ache, there is a profound beauty in the way we come together to support and comfort one another. The human heart has an incredible capacity to heal, to forgive, and to love again. It is resilient, capable of enduring pain and emerging stronger, ready to embrace love in all its forms once more.